What's going on, everybody? This is Mario Walker. Welcome back to another video. So I just watched an interesting video that I really intrigued me. Um, it's basically a response video pretty much. So um, a big business entrepreneur named Simon Sinek. This is him right here. He did a video last year talking about millennials, and the video's over a year old, so it's not really relevant now. But I could see it being talked about. Let's see a lot of users doing response videos on this video. The reason why what triggered me to watch the video is because I've seen the video on Facebook and other social media platforms. One of my favorite YouTubers, Robert Blake, mentioned him on his net neutrality video, and then I was like, oh, I remember that guy. I remember that video. Simon, Sink, if I'm saying his name right, he did that video talking about how millennials are obsessed with their phones. They're always texting, they're always tweeting, and all this other stuff. And he talks about how millennials are entitled, they're lazy. They want to do something. They want to, change the world, but they still, they want to do it overnight though. And a lot of things he say, I disagree with. For real, a lot of things he say has, merit to them because, um, you know, speaking from my personal experience, I'm born in 1996, so I ride the tail end of the millennial generation, and I'm kind of like the quote unquote, bad millennial, people my age because, we grew up with cell phones, we grew up with internet, we grew up with cable TV. So like so I'm like in a lot of ways the quintessential millennial, but also, a lot of like older millennials, older people in my generation will say that, oh, well, you're Gen Z because, you're not a 90s kid or, you didn't grow up with, the PlayStation or the N64. I mean, well, I kind of did, but, you didn't grow up, you didn't learn those concepts they like me, and like, because millennials are kind of generation. I look at a millennial generation as a bridge between the 21st century and the 20th century, the pre-internet world and the post-internet world. You know, a pre-cell phone world and a post-cell phone world. The the 90s and the 2000s. I look at millennials as a bridge between, the 20th century, the century that was defined by radio, TV, computers, um, the automobile, to the 21st century, a century that's gone by, internet, cell phones, smartphones, social media, um, green energy, like all these things that, all these two worlds just kind of mesh together into to define like one generation. That's the millennial generation. So like watching that video just made me really think about, my upbringing and like, where I was just last year, regarding my whole life situation because, I'm only 21, so, I still got a lot of life to live. I'm still young, I'm still kind of that young, naive kid, in a lot of ways. But at the same time, I could be a mentor to like kids who are like in high school or middle school, or just starting college because I've been there. I know what it feels like to, be that new kid. I know what it's like to, to be told that, oh, you fed all these, you fed all these, misconceptions about life in the world, through your parents or through your teachers, and you find out that the world is not as, black and white as, as what your parents told you, what your teachers told you, and what have you. So I can kind of, understand. I kind of come at it both angles in a way. Again, I'm young, and in this video right here, it kind of just compelled me to this video, compelled to record the video I'm showing you right now because this guy, Carlos Gill, who's, pretty small YouTuber. He only has 7.2K subscribers, so he's not a top YouTuber by any means. I know that's pretty big if you go on lately, but I mean compared to most people I know, cell phone to subscribers is a pretty big number. But the point is, he's a millennial. He's born in 1983, so he's the older millennial. He's like the older extra millennial generation, so he's kind of like the 80s. So it's kind of like an 80s and 90s kid, at the same time. So his world was, defined by, Nintendo and, you know, um, old computers and, and stuff like that. He didn't grow up with, his people his age range didn't grow up with like smartphones or cell phones or, you know, internet wasn't a thing, up until he was like, in his, oh, sorry, but the internet wasn't really a thing until, he was a lot older, because again, most people around at his age, didn't know the internet existed. Most people at his age, didn't know the internet existed. So they were like at least, middle school. So, like, so from his perspective, he's saying, well, not all millennials are like that. Not all millennials are, tech dependent or, spoiled or, entitled or, sheltered because, most millennials come from baby boomer parents and, and my mom is, a baby boomer, so I can kind of relate to that as well, you know, and, baby boomers are known for sheltering their kids. They're known for being, the most sheltered generation, ever. So they still those values that they had as children to the millennial generation, so like, that's why, millennials get, often get black for, being, coddled because their parents were coddled. Their parents are baby boomers for the most part. So, and when I think about, my upbringing and when I think about, how I was raised, I mean, I was raised, I was kind of like I was kind of like up until recently, up until, I really started having like nieces and nephews, I was always kind of one of the youngest, kind of one of the younger people in my family because most people I grew up with were millennials and Gen Xers. So, my mom, my mom was a baby boomer, so like most of my family members were like my cousins and, siblings, they were mostly Gen Xers, and, so like I grew up with, more, kind of similar but kind of different than most millennials, I remember not having cable TV up until I was 10 years old. We didn't have, we had a computer at the house, but we didn't use the internet. Um, I didn't start using the internet until I was 11. I didn't start using social media up until, well, I started using social media when I was, a teen, but I didn't start using it, I think, like now until I was, 18. So like I was always kind of like late to technology in terms of, being on social media, being online. When I'm online, I usually on YouTube for the most part. But now that I have my own website and now that I know I'm trying to build my own brand and trying to, grow an audience on, on the internet, I'm using multiple platforms, a day. I'm using Instagram, I'm using YouTube, I'm using Facebook. I kind of stopped using Facebook for a while, but now I'm back on it. Um, I was using Snapchat. I don't really use that no more because I don't talk to so many people on Snapchat. So, but like I use social media quite a lot now that I'm, realizing the power of social media because, come from an older parent, my mom looks at social media as, oh, it's bad for you, or you're on the internet, oh, people get killed, you don't know what was happening, you didn't rush news. Like my mom, was very protective, which is understandable, but, because of my condition and stuff like that, it's very understandable for her to make sure that I'm okay and I don't say or do anything, dumb. And then granted, I have done some dumb things on social media. I have said a lot of things on social media that I regret saying. So, you know, I'm not perfect by any means, but at the same time, I understand that just because, one bad experience doesn't make, because of one or two bad experiences, somebody doing something stupid on the internet, just make the whole internet a bad place. And like that's something that the old generation needs to realize, just because, it's because your kids may use, Instagram or YouTube a lot, just because, they own it constantly and all day. Doesn't necessarily they doing it for bad reason, because some people have their whole lives have changed dramatically because of social media. I look at people like Princess Shaw, who was a singer, who was, had abusive, came from abusive childhood, and then she was singing as a coping mechanism to have to deal with, the abuse she was getting from her father, and now she's like a YouTube sensation. I look at people like Justin Bieber, who came from divorce family, people like like my favorite YouTuber, Bird Blake, who was dealing with depression. And then he saw YouTube as a way to grow his brand and kind of get out of the corporate America situation he was in, where he was working a job where he was just, he was doing graphic design, something he loved doing. He was still not happy because he was not doing it on his own terms. And once he started taking YouTube more seriously, he's now, at 4 million subs. He has almost 300,000 subs on YouTube, and he's continuing to grow his brand. He's making money or doing something he loves doing. So like I see how social media has changed people's lives, and I want that to be my story. I want to be somebody who's an example of somebody who uses social media but done right, who says, okay, I know it's going to take a while. I know it's not going to be overnight. Let me, figure out how way I can scale it and how can I double down on it so it won't feel like forever. So like that's what I've been doing as of a few months ago, as of recently. I have my own website now. I have two websites actually, the Pen Talk and my other website that is created a few days ago is on the Pen Talk, so you guys can look that up. But I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I've been on the side who's like, this is what's wrong with your generation is so small, your generation, always on the internet, your generation, is this and that and the other. And then I've been on this side of the spectrum where I'm at now, where I'm like, okay, well, I'm using the internet, but I'm using it for the right purpose, I'm using it to help me learn things. I'm using it to learn how to build my own brand and how to be a better person, how to get close relationship with God and stuff like that, you know. So yeah, I might use it, 5 6 hours a day, but at least I'm doing it, for the right reasons, and I'm still, getting good grades. I'm still focusing on my schoolwork. I'm still spending time with my mom and stuff like that. I still, value the things outside of it. I still value real life. I still value, spending time with your family and your friends. I still value those things. But just the fact that with the internet, you know, I could be around people who can help me, help me grow as a person, because come from a small town, I mean, and being somebody who's into poetry, nobody's really on social media like me. And nobody knows about YouTube. Nobody uses social media outside of like Facebook and Snapchat, Instagram. You know, nobody knows, what it takes to be a spoken word artist. Nobody knows that stuff. I had to learn all stuff through networking and through, putting people on the internet. That's how easy to get to right now. So with that being said though, I value mentorship. I value, respecting elders. I value people who are older and people who have made it, type of thing. I value those people, who told me, how they had to work hard to get to where they at. People who took, had to well, it took like 5 to 10 years to get to where they say I'm successful in life. Took them, how they have a home and have nice things in life, but still keep things in perspective. Like I value those people, because again, I grew up with older people in my family. Most of my family, a lot of my family members, you know, are older. They're 10, they are 20, 30 years old now. Yeah. So So they, so I got, I got a little mix of both. I got people who are like around my age, like they're like cousins and siblings, nieces, and nephews, who are like my around my age range, who are less than a decade, who are like around my age, like 5, 10 years older, younger, than me. And I got people who are like, like or like my parents, people who are, 20, 30 years older than me, but who are my siblings, but yet they still those values in me of working hard, working smart, um, you know, the value of getting a college education and that type of stuff. So like I value those things to the utmost respect. So my whole point of this video is to say that, is to say that just because you may be young, you may not, just because you may be young and you may not have, lived the life that your parents have lived or lived the life that your grandparents have lived, doesn't mean that you don't have nothing that's value. Doesn't mean that you don't know anything per se. Because I know a lot of young people, and I just talk about you might even talk about who are like not that much older than me, like 25, 30, who are like well beyond the years. I tell about people, I know people who are like, again in the 20s who are like have good jobs. They get paid like 25,000, 30,000 a year. Um, they're, they got a car. They are not paying student loans anymore. I know people, again, who are in their 20s are in that situation. I know people who are, I know people who are doing, well in their life, and they're not that much older than I am. I know people who are, again, late 20s, early 30s who are social workers. So, it's not so not everybody in that generation is, you know, messing up. Not everybody in that generation is out of control, um, out of control and just out of control and spoiled, stuff like that. I mean, to some degree, spoiled, but not in the way that the media, society like portray us to be. So, yeah, I know it's kind of a long video. That's why I'm going to post on YouTube. But without the way, this is Ryan Walker signing out.